Week 7, NFL Power Rankings. Let's go. Had me a busy day at work today. Had to take care of some stuff on lunch, so I am home now. It's going to be late, but we're getting these Power Rankings in tonight, boys. Let's get right into it. Number 32, Detroit Lions. Come on, what in the name of Barry Sanders? That is literally 2 games in a row that the Lions have failed to get in the end zone. I think you have to get in the end zone to win some games. I understand you could win some games without touchdowns, but it helps. This is a very far cry from a few weeks ago when the Lions were rated as the number 1 offense in the league. Against the Cowboys on Sunday, Jared Goff looked like ass. I mean, there's no nice way of saying it. My dude was missing passes horribly. I mean, how many turnovers? What? End zone, not turning the ball over. Dan Campbell, this is what you need to do to win games. I don't care that you were on Hard Knocks. Talked all that shit about grit. And this was by far the worst game of the season for Jared Goff and the Lions. And guess what? They're right back to being the same old Lions. Number 31, Carolina Panthers. Cox. So let me get this straight. The Panthers trade away Christian McCaffrey. And in their first game after the trade, they host the Tampa Bay Bucks and that stout defense. And then they rush for 173 yards with Deontay Foreman and Chubba Hubba. Yes, I know. Chubba Hubba. Come on, man. Chubba Hubba just sounds so much better. What in the name of Tim Biaka Batuka is going? And then DJ Moore got involved? Oh, my God. I'll tell you what. Baker Mayfield must be working on his game because the Panthers offense... What's that? Oh, he didn't play? It was the 3rd string quarterback, PJ Walker? Stop it. Actually, that sounds about right. Despite this impressive surprise win over the Bucks, the Panthers are still in sell mode, are still going to be dismantled, and they still suck. Number 30, Houston Texans. I had faith that the Texans would not be the worst team in the NFL this year. I really did. I was giving all the credit to Davis Mills, saying he was better than people thought. I really thought Davis Mills to Brandon Cooks was going to be a solid connection. And boy, I was wrong. I will say that the one thing I was right about, and I think everybody was right about, is rookie running back Dameon Pierce. Unfortunately, his decent play is not translating into wins. On Sunday against the Raiders in Vegas, man, the Texans had a chance to win a very winnable game. They kept the game damn close all game long. Enter Davis Mills with an untimely interception in the 4th quarter. Sealed the game. Lost number 4. Texans are trash. Better luck next year. Number 29, Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, after week 3, when the Jaguars were 2-1, all the talk was about how their defense was so impressive. Boy, that turned to shit now, didn't it? Penalties on defense single-handedly lost them this game against the Giants this past Sunday. 2 takeaways were negated because of dumb-ass penalties. And this was the 3rd straight game that defense failed to get a takeaway. The reason why that's significant is because when they did win those 2 games to go to 2-1, both of those games in back-to-back games, they had 3+ takeaways. This team and that defense, after being 2-1 and everybody being all up on Trevor Lawrence's nutsack, have come crashing quickly back down to earth. And I really don't want to hear about them anymore. I don't. Number 28, Denver Broncos. Now, I watched most of this game live against the Jets on Sunday. And as bad as Russell Wilson has played before this game, Brett Rippon just made him look like Joe Montana. Now, I understand Brett Rippon is not a starter in this league. I get it, right? He's supposed to struggle. But the horrific passes that he was attempting were just outrageous. They had so many chances to move the ball and just failed time after time after time. On 3rd and short, they were throwing 30 to 40-yard bombs with Brett Rippon. Brett Rippon. I don't even know. Is his first name Brett? Am I fucking that up? Probably, because he's insignificant. This game was so hard to watch. Unless you were a Jets fan, this game was difficult to watch. And their head coach making the decisions that he's making is just so awful. I'm hard-pressed to find anybody that understands what he's doing, but I have an idea. Let me see something. Hold on. Let's go see. Hang on. Let's see. Come here. Hey, Luca, do you understand Nathaniel Hackett and the things that he does in the NFL with his team? Do you? Can you explain? Yeah, that about sums it up. Number 27, Pittsburgh Steelers. Najee Harris Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool, rookie George Pickens. It's not like this offense doesn't have players, because they do. Why is this offense so terrible? Sidebar, is Najee Harris literally the worst fantasy bust in the history of fantasy football? Asking for a friend. It's me, I'm the friend. Listen, 4 dropped interceptions on Sunday night against the Dolphins definitely hurt the Steelers' chances of winning this game. But they had a chance to win this game. The defense should somewhat be proud because they held the Dolphins in check. And we all know who returned for the Dolphins on Sunday. The Steelers need to figure out something quick because Mike Tomlin's about to have his first losing season ever. Number 26, Cleveland Browns. For the second game in a row, the Browns opted to go at their offense by throwing the ball instead of running the ball with Nick Chubb, who leads the world in rushing. It's an interesting strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out. I literally feel like I'm just repeating myself from last week. I just didn't have this dumbass hat on my head last week. The Browns very well could have and probably should have won this game in Baltimore on Sunday. I know you can't assume anything, but a very strange, very questionable false start call on that late in the game. Yeah, that shit backed him up just a bit and made for a longer field goal attempt. Which after week 1, when Cade York was like the savior in Cleveland, he hasn't really done much but disappoint fans since. But that's not why they lost this game. They lost this game because they're trying to throw the ball with Jacoby Brissett. You have Nick Chubb on your team, bruh. You have Kareem Hunt on your team, bruh. Okay, like stop with Jacoby Brissett. Yo, I'd be pissed if I was a Browns fan. But then again, I'd be pissed about a lot of things if I was a Browns fan. Number 25, New Orleans Saints. So Andy Dalton, once again, gets the start over Jameis Winston. It's a little curious. Thursday Night Football, all the Amazon Prime-ites out there watching this game against the Cardinals. Andy Dalton goes out there and goes 3 straight drives with interceptions, 2 of them pick 6. All this time, the praise he's getting over Jameis Winston is that he's not turning the ball over. Well, you can throw that out the window. Saints fall to 2-5 and really need to figure out who their starting quarterback is because it's weird. Number 24, Washington Commanders. What is this? Washington's first game not starting Carson Wentz, and it's an impressive win over a pretty decent team? What in the name of Ernest Biner is... Now hear me out. Just for a second, hear me out. Tyler T. Heineke led Washington to a division win in 2020. He had Washington at a 7-8 record last year, which is not a winning season, but if you look at that roster, 7 wins was impressive. He didn't play bad. He was actually all right. And as a reward, he gets replaced by none other than Carson Wentz. Let that sink in. Carson Wentz. Like imagine you being replaced at your job right now by a wet fucking mop. That's really hurtful. Sunday against the Packers, Heineke shook off a very rusty, bad start and played lights out in the second half. Listen, if Ron Rivera knew what he was doing, if he was a smart guy, Carson Wentz should never, ever throw a pass for Washington ever again. Number 23, Chicago Bears. Yo, the Bears look like a brand new team, didn't they? Monday Night Football, hostile environment in Foxborough to take on the Patriots, Bill Belichick, and Justin Fields look like a damn good quarterback. Do you know why they played so well? I mean, I'll tell you. It's because this guy right here dumped a shit ton of money on the Patriots. Yeah, I got that kind of power. You better ask somebody if you don't believe it. It's fun, it's funny, it's comical, it hurts my pocket, but it's like death and taxes, sure as shit. Anyway, the Bears converted 11 of 13 third downs. Do you know how impressive that is? They just kept drives going. It was insane. And in the second half, defensively, they shut the Patriots out. They pitched the shutout. Where was this team all season? More importantly, will this team be here for the rest of the season? Time will tell. Number 22. The Los Angeles Chargers. Check down king, Justin Herbert. He just seems like the type of person when he opens up a package of Starbursts, dives right in for the yellows. He seems like the type of teammate that walks around the locker room after a fucking loss, flicking everybody in their nutsack and just yelling jangalang, jangalang. Fucking hate him. I'm really, really hard pressed. I can't think of a player in the NFL that is more overrated than Justin Herbert. He's a herb. I want to bring that back. I keep trying, but it's not working. It's not catching on. You're a herb. He was favored to win the NFL MVP at the beginning of the year. He's currently 5th, and I don't know how he's that high. Sunday, against the Seahawks, they let Seattle come into the Rams' house. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we all know that's not their house. Seattle came in there and whooped their ass. Listen, I'm done with the Chargers. They're a joke. And you know what? They're led by a quarterback who probably refers to Gatorade by the flavor instead of just the color. Number 21, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Did you see that drop by Mike Evans? Everybody did. It was just absolutely insane, right? Absolutely hilarious. It's plays like that that got me wondering if the NFL is scripted, because how? Like how? Because after that play, from that point on, the Bucs continued to play like booty flakes all game. How do you not score against the Panthers? How do you lose to the Panthers? How do you lose to the Panthers that just got rid of Christian McCaffrey? How do you lose to a PJ Walker-led team? Okay, all right, I'm saying this is just like the Panthers segment part 2. I got a question. Is it Todd Bowles? Because, he was the head coach of the Jets, and he was dreadful. I wonder if they looked at it and said, you know what, bring him to Tampa Bay. He's got the GOAT. I don't know, man. Things did not look good in Tampa. It might be time for them to focus on the Lightning, like 100%. Number 20, Green Bay Packers. I have a conspiracy theory in regard to the Green Bay Packers. Hear me out. I think Aaron Rodgers is purposely playing bad, trying to lose games. Because when was the last time the Packers drafted a wide receiver for him? Maybe he's trying to be like, yo, I need you to go out and get me a receiver at the trading deadline. I hear DJ Moore is available. Brandon Cooks would look okay in green and yellow. I would hate that. I only believe in this conspiracy theory because there's no way that the Packers are this bad and Aaron Rodgers is playing this terrible. My dude won the MVP back-to-back seasons. What happened during the offseason that made him this bad? I know a lot of people want to say, well, he lost Devontae Adams. Yeah, he did. I get it. One of the best receivers in the league. But if you look at Devontae Adams right now, he's not the greatest in the league right now. So Aaron Rodgers deserves a lot of credit for Adams' success. My favorite thing about the Packer loss was afterwards when Rodgers said, this is probably exactly what we needed. According to Aaron Rodgers, this loss just might wake us up. This just might be what we need to go into Sunday Night Football and play the Buffalo Bills. Maybe, Aaron, just maybe, being the underdog by double digits for the first time in your career, maybe that's the motivation you need. Bring it on, bitch. Number 19, Arizona Cardinals. I'm sweating my ass. DeAndre Hopkins returned for the Cardinals Thursday Night Football against the Saints. And the Cardinals, they had no plans of easing him in. They were like, DeAndre's back, fuck that, throw him the ball. 14 targets. Jesus Lord. Hey, he did have 10 catches for over 100 yards, man. But in my opinion, the most valuable thing that Hopkins did on Thursday night was calm Kyler Murray down a little bit. After a play, Murray was heated and heading to the sideline. He was screaming at his head coach, and it was Adams that calmed him down. Honestly, I think that Kyler Murray and Kingsbury need to just fucking box. Just square up, do it. Fun fact about this game, Cardinals scored over 40 points. That's the first time they did that since 2017, an 87-game span, the longest streak in the NFL. Well done, sir. Number 18, Las Vegas Raiders. Josh Jacobs needs to be involved in 90% of the plays on offense for the Raiders in order for this team to win games. If you remember, I've been saying that for a couple weeks now. Forget Devontae Adams. Forget Derek Carr. Forget Max Crosby. Josh Jacobs is the identity of this team. The Raiders did not pick up his fifth-year option at the beginning of this year, and that has created a man on a mission. Ride that motherfucker. There's just one small problem. The Raiders head coach, his name is Josh McDaniels, and he's a douche. Number 17, Indianapolis Colts. Matt Ryan, man, he was once again pass happy. This time on Sunday against the Titans. 44 pass attempts for that old man, 2 of which were very terrible interceptions. The Colts offensive line continues to struggle and is probably the root of all the failures that this team has. Fortunately for the Colts, they reside in a very, very shitty division, and they really can't be counted out because they're still in it. And just the other day, they announced Matt Ryan is being shut down and Sam Ellinger, that guy is taking over. I'm curious, very interested to see how this goes. Number 16, Tennessee Titans. The Titans beat the Colts on Sunday without an offensive touchdown. The only time they reached the end zone was on a pick six of Matt Ryan. My son's flag football team could do that. Ryan Tannehill continues to prove that he is a subpar quarterback. And without the steady diet of just turning around and handing the ball to a big man who runs the ball, I can't see him still having a job. The Titans' record of 4-2 looks good on paper. They're in first place of the AFC South. And I'm actually blown away because some people have them ranked in like the top 10. Because of their record? I mean, see, I'm a realist. I'm looking at their 4 wins. I'm looking at them beating the Colts twice, beating the Raiders, and beating Washington. And not one of those games were convincing. And I can't remember who they lost to in the first week of the season. Frankly, I don't give a fuck. But I do know they got their asses handed to them on Monday Night Football in front of everybody to see by the Bills. I understand my bias might be shining through on this one. Honestly, I get that. But it's painfully obvious that this team is not good. They're not top 10 material. If I never looked at the standings and somebody told me that this team was 1-5 after I watched their first 6 games, my response would be, what shitty team did they actually beat? Number 15, New England Patriots. Oh my goodness, Monday Night Football. The Patriots just got blown out at home against the Bears team, who's really bad. And honestly, Bill Belichick, he might have done fucked up with some of the decisions he made. Mac Jones, back from injury, gets the start. He struggles. That makes sense. He hasn't played in how many weeks? You hear the crowd in New England, in Gillette Stadium, screaming for Zappy. It was bad. I felt really bad for Mac Jones. I didn't. And guess what? In came Bailey Zappe. And guess what? Back-to-back touchdowns. After that, shoo, player, what happened? I don't know, man. Zappe, Mac Jones. Who's starting next week against the Jets? I can't wait to see that shit. Number 14, Atlanta Falcons. Damn it. Inconsistency is the theme in Atlanta this year. Week after week, I credit the Falcons way more than anybody else does. I even called them my guilty pleasure last week. They're going to have to do something. They're going to have to be a little more consistent on offense if they want more of my praise. And honestly, who doesn't want more of my praise, right? Sunday against the Bengals was embarrassing. Marcus Mariota had no business being on the same field as Joe Burrow. But honestly, the way they played, I don't know if many teams could have been on that field. Chalk this game up to facing a red-hot team. And at the end of the day, the Falcons are still tied for first in the NFC South. That's crazy. Number 13, Miami Dolphins, the Lord and Savior. Back on the field for the Dolphins. Sunday Night Football. Yeah, baby. Boy, did he look rusty. Despite a really quick start to the game, Tua didn't look good. He could have / should have been picked off 4 times. 4. The completions he made were product of good catches from his receiver. There was one play I couldn't believe it, man. He hit Waddle over the middle, and the pass was so high that Waddle had to jump and land on his ass because the pass was so high. Had Waddle caught that on stride, he'd still be running today. And that's my gripe with this man. Luckily, the Dolphins defense stepped up again. And they won. They barely won. They barely beat the Steelers. Dolphins fans should be happy because a win is a win. I get it. But the Dolphins did not pass the eye test for me. Number 12, San Francisco 49ers. 2 short weeks ago, I proclaimed that the NFC West was wrapped up by the 49ers because how good they looked and how well they played. Since then, the Niners have lost back-to-back games. Now, granted, they lost to the Chiefs this week, but they lost to the Falcons last week. In addition, they are very banged up. They are very hurt on defense, and defense is their strength. Trading for Christian McCaffrey was nice. Very, very nice surprise for Niners fans. But he didn't do much in his first game. I'm not sure if he was expected to. Might take him a minute to acclimate to a new system, to a shitty quarterback. I mean, a new system. I don't know. I think the Niners are going to be all right, but I'm not predicting them to solidify anything anymore because, yeah, fuck me. Number 11, Los Angeles Rams. Los Angeles Rams, they are 3-3. They were on a bye week this past Sunday. Matthew Stafford threw 2 more pick six. Yeah. No, that can't. Okay, statistically, he did not. According to NFL standards, he did not, but I promise you, he threw at least 2 pick sixes in his bye week. Number 10, Baltimore Ravens. Ooh, here we go again. Ravens are in the middle of another fourth quarter collapse. This time, it was against the Cleveland Browns. Did you hear what I said? I said the Cleveland Browns. That right there should tell you that the Ravens finally closed the game out. Had this been against anyone else in the league, the Ravens would be 3-4 today. Ravens were trying to run the clock out in the fourth quarter, and they fumbled the ball. Made things super interesting. Jacoby Brissett threw the ball to Amari Cooper, touchdown. Oh shit. Wait. Touchdown negated by an offensive pass interference. Then, the Browns had a very questionable false start. And the Ravens were able to block their game-tying field goal. So the Ravens moved to 4-3, but there hasn't been a lot of talk about Lamar Jackson lately. I feel like this is a theme. Like, this is what the Ravens do. They, explode on the scene early, kind of pitter-patter halfway through the season. Then Lamar gets injured. Is that next? Is that coming? I shouldn't wish that on him. Number 9, Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith, Marquise Goodwin, and Kenneth Walker. Imagine a world where people had these 3 players as the stars of a road win against the Chargers. Not only did they get an impressive road win, but they vaulted themselves into first place of the NFC West. What is that? No one saw that coming. No one. I'm sorry, no one. Not even Seahawks fans. And if you think that's true, you're a fucking liar. But I'm still not ready to trust this team. I've been there, I've done that, didn't like it. They certainly have had some big wins this year, no doubt. But they've also had some very deflating losses. A true test is coming this week when they host the red-hot New Jersey Giants, and we'll talk about this next week, and we'll see where the Seahawks land. Number 8, Cincinnati Bengals. In continuation from last week, the offense, that Bengals offense just continues to roll. A lot of people think Joe Burrow's back. A lot of people think that Joe Burrow's dipping his toe in MVP conversation. Some people think that it was just a product of playing a very bad defense. But it certainly appears that him and the rest of the offense are on track, so you got to give him credit, right? Number 7, Dallas Cowboys. Don't let the final score of 24-6 fool you. This game was a lot closer than that. Dak returned to the Cowboys after injuring his thumb in week 1, and he played exactly like a quarterback would play had they missed a bunch of weeks. He was a bit rusty. He made some nice passes, absolutely, but he also missed some passes. But I'm not going to sit there and blame the injury for those missed passes. I think that's just Dak. I think Dak just likes to miss passes. It would have been nice to see more from him against the worst defense in the NFL. The worst. But I suppose Cowboy fans are going to take that win and move on. But once again, I can't not talk about it. The Dallas defense, ridiculous. 5 more turnovers. I think I missed up. Takeaways and turnovers. This was the perfect team to play against to ease their quarterback into the swing of things. And a relatively nice win for the Cowboys. Number 6, Minnesota Vikings. Vikings were on a bye week. Their record is 5-1. I had them at 5 last week. I moved them down to 6. Let's go ahead and move on to see who I moved above them. Number 5, New Jersey Jets. Jets. You believe that shit? Man, juck the fits. Zach Wilson is not a good QB. I'm sorry. I know you don't want to hear that, Jets fan, but he's not. He don't look good. But Sean, he's 4-0 since coming back from injury. Yeah, there's a lot more than one player on a team. Watch him throw the ball and tell me that he's the reason why they're winning these games. Jets keep on winning ugly games with elite defense and some seriously great running. And it's not Zach Wilson. It's all that matters, right? They're getting W. The loss of Breece Hall is going to hurt, 100%, because he had that offense humming. Now, obviously, they traded for James Robinson. Will he come in and actually be a fact? It might take a couple weeks to get him acclimated to the offense. As a Jets fan, if I was a Jets fan, I can't believe I just said that. If that person, you as a Jet fan, I don't. You should prefer to have Breece Hall over James Robinson is the point I'm trying to make. Next up for the Jets is the Patriots. The only reason why I bring that up is because I have a fun fact for that game. The last time the Jets played the Patriots and the Jets had a better record than the Patriots was 2001. What that means is, if someone was born on the day that game was played, today he could drink a beer legally. God, I just love the Jets. Number 4, New Jersey Giants. I don't care how the win looked. I know I'm being a hypocrite because I just ragged on the Titans. But I don't care how the win looked. Did they come back in the fourth quarter again? Will that factor into determining playoff seeding? The only thing that does is determine where people want to rank them in their lists, in their videos, such as the one I'm making right now. And at the end of the day, everyone's rankings are wrong. They're all biased, and they're all a little stupid. If you want to discredit the way the Giants are winning football games right now, then that's on you. You're entitled to do so. Me, I think it's fantastic. Stick around in the game, take over in the fourth quarter by running the ball and playing defense. It's an excellent game plan by an excellent head coach. And they're doing it with a banged up offensive line, and I don't even know who plays receiver for them. Daniel Jones is out there making a case for his next contract, be it with the Giants in New Jersey or elsewhere. This kid could play, and I'm tired of hearing that he can't. I've been saying it for 2 years. This dude is way better than people are giving him credit for. Number 3, Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles were on a bye week this week. They still sit at 6-0. And I gotta be honest with you, the bye week came at the perfect time for the city of Philadelphia. All eyes in that city got to focus on the Phillies and watch them beat the Padres and advance to the World Series. Number 2, Kansas City Chiefs. So the Chiefs began this game with Patrick Mahomes throwing an interception. And you were like, oh shit, because the Niners have a solid defense. But the next 7 drives after that interception, nothing short of amazing. Touchdown, 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 missed field goal. Touchdown, 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 touchdown. Obviously, Mahomes and Kelsey are premier players on this. But it was Juju. It was McCole Hardman. It was MVS. They all had excellent games on Sunday. In addition to that, the Chiefs running backs looked like they had Targaryen blood in them. The freaking 3-headed dragon. Boy, they were running all over the Niners all game long. This stupid thing here is pissing me off. Now I made it work. Here's a fun fact for you. Patrick Mahomes is 12-5 in game in which he trails by 10 or more. That's since 2019, including the playoffs. I'm sorry, how impressive is that? No other quarterback has an even winning record, let alone 12-5. There's a big reason for this stat. It's the ability for this team to have chunk plays. 25 yards or more. Kansas City has 22 plays of 25 yards or more, and that leads the league by a lot. And last year at this point, they had 14 less than that. Think about it. The Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill and got more explosive. Go fucking figure. Number 1, Buffalo Bills. I got to show you something, all right? I came home from work today, and in my living room is a present that my wife got for me because she's so thoughtful. It literally rendered me speechless. She tried to get a video of my reaction, and I had no reaction because I was just so like, check this out. What? Yeah, this is a 6-foot cardboard cutout of my boy, your boy, future NFL MVP. The Buffalo Bills remain at number 1, even though they were on a bye week. They are 5-1, anticipating another Sunday night matchup, this time against the Green Bay Packers. All teams, aside from the Buffalo Bills, are pure shit. I don't even know why I do these rankings. I should just leave them off because we all know that they're number 1 week after week. Okay, I'll stop. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.